The 116th Infantry Brigade Combat Team was formerly known as the 1st Brigade, 29th Infantry Division. It is currently assigned to the Virginia Army National Guard. The brigade is headquartered in Staunton, Virginia, at the Thomas Howie Memorial Armory. History: 1st Brigade, 29th Infantry Division, was formed in 1963. It served until 1968. In 1975 it was reformed as the 116th Infantry Brigade, and carried on under that name until 1986. In 1986 it became, once again, 1st Brigade, 29th Infantry Division. During the Army's reorganization into brigade combat teams, 1st Brigade, 29th Division again became 116th Brigade, this time as a brigade combat team. On the 1st of November 2002, the 2nd Battalion, 116th Infantry Regiment was mobilized for deployment to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba to take part in Operation Enduring Freedom. This marked the first mobilization of a battalion of the 29th Infantry Division since World War II. The unit provided security of the base and Camp Delta, the detainee operations camp. On the 1st of March 2004, the 3rd Battalion, 116th Infantry Regiment was mobilized for deployment to Afghanistan to take part in Operation Enduring Freedom. Members of the battalion reported to armories around Virginia and began arriving at Bagram Airfield in Afghanistan on the 15th of July 2004. They were quickly engaged in operations. The battalion conducted combat operations in Ghazni and SECFOR operations at Bagram Airfield. Numerous slice elements were placed under the operational control of the battalion. The newly formed task force assumed the name of the beaches the regiment stormed more than 60 years prior, Normandy. During the deployment, 2 116th Infantry soldiers were killed by a roadside bomb. The first Virginia National Guard soldiers to die in combat since World War II. The battalion returned to the United States in July 2005. In August 2006, the 1st Battalion mobilized in support of KFOR as part of the 29th Infantry Division to provide stability operations in the Serbian province of Kosovo with NATO. They become known as Task Force Red Dragon for the duration of the deployment. In 2007, the Brigade's Special Troops Battalion, 116th BCT of the Virginia Army National Guard replaced the 229th Engineer Battalion. The unit is headquartered in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Troops Forward is the unit's motto. The BSDB comprises an HHC with platoons of infantry, support, chemical, military police, supply, mechanics, cavalry, logistics and administration. There are 3 other companies in the BSDB, an engineering, military intelligence and signal company. In May 2007, the brigade headquarters company mobilized in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. Headquarters company was stationed on the international zone and did not suffer any casualties. Her company 116th BSDB was stationed in Camp Cedar 2, near the city of Nasiriyah, Iraq. Among many tasks, the Combat Engineer Unit conducted route clearance throughout MSR Route Tampa to clear convoys for safe travel. In February 2008, the unit demobilized at Fort Dix, NJ and returned to Fredericksburg, VA. In June 2007, the 2D Squadron, 183rd Cavalry Regiment, the 3D Battalion, 116th Infantry Regiment, and Company F, 429th Brigade Support Battalion were deployed to Iraq and Kuwait. Companies A, B, and C of the 3D Battalion, 116th Infantry Regiment successfully conducted convoy security patrols throughout Iraq. HHC in AMP Code E3 116th 2 to 183 Road Cav, and F 429th conducted security force missions in Kuwait and southern Iraq for strategically vital assets, to include 2 to 183 Road Cav troops A and C, with HQ and Colorado Guard components completing several extended roadside and personal security, surveillance and mercy missions, and numerous combat patrols throughout Kuwait and southern Iraq provinces and along oil pipelines outside Basra. The Purple Heart was awarded during the deployment for taking shrapnel from sniper fire, and the Iraq Campaign Medal was issued for those members serving in the Iraq Theater of Operations. In January 2010, the 1st Battalion mobilized with the Louisiana National Guard's 256th IBCT to Iraq and conducted convoy security missions in southern Iraq, known as TF Overlord, attribute the unit's D-Day heritage. The unit includes the Headquarters Company from Lynchburg, VA Company A from Bedford, VA Company B from Lexington, VA Company C from Christiansburg, VA and Company D from Pulaski, VA. The battalion was commanded by LTCE Scott Smith of Lynchburg, VA. The unit returned with no losses in September 2010. In May 2011, the brigade headquarters company plus the UAV platoon were mobilized in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. Approximately 185 soldiers were mobilized for this deployment. They served as a control element for Combined Team Zabul in Zabul Province, Afghanistan. During the deployment, the HHC directed a mix of U.S. active duty and National Guard units as well as Romanian units in continuing operations in Zabul Province. They were commanded by Colonel Blake Ortner and suffered no combat casualties during the deployment. The brigade HHC returned to the U.S. and demobilized at the beginning of January 2012. In June 2011, Task Force 183 mobilized to support Operation New Dawn. This was the largest mobilization of the Virginia Army National Guard since World War II, consisting of 825 soldiers. TF 183 comprised most of the 2D Squadron, 183d Cavalry Regiment plus elements of the 116th BSDB, 116th BSB, 1 to 116 Infantry and Deco 3 to 116 Infantry. TF 183 returned to the U.S. and demobilized in December 2011. Current units 116th Infantry Brigade Combat Team consists of the following elements: 116th Special Troops Battalion, 1st Battalion, 116th Infantry, 3rd Battalion, 116th Infantry Regiment, 2nd Squadron, 183rd Cavalry Regiment, 1st Battalion, 111th Field Artillery Regiment, 429th Brigade Support Battalion. Insignia. The brigade had its own shoulder patch which was most recently worn in 2006-2007. The shoulder sleeve insignia depicted Thomas Stonewall Jackson, mounted on his horse, a reference to the 116th lineage as the Stonewall Brigade. The shoulder sleeve insignia was originally approved for the 116th Infantry Brigade on the 26th of May 1978. The patch's nickname is "Stony on a Pony." Quote, "When the 29th Infantry Division was reactivated in 1985, the brigade was assigned to the division and began wearing the division shoulder patch. Following the Army's reorganization of combat divisions in 2005 into brigade-centric units, ARNG brigades within divisions began wearing brigade patches as Department of the Army policy. The 116th BCT has returned to wearing the division shoulder patch 1 April 2007. Shoulder sleeve insignia. Description: on an oblong shield curved at top and bottom, 2.5 inches in width and 3 inches in height overall. A gray silhouette representative of the Stonewall Jackson Monument at Manassas Battlefield Park, Virginia, on a blue background, all within a 1/8 inch white border. Symbolism: the equestrian figure is a representation of the General Thomas J. Jackson Monument at Manassas, where he gained the nickname Stonewall. Quote, "The colors blue and gray refer to the rich heritage of the state of Virginia, and blue and white are the colors associated with the infantry branch." Background: the shoulder sleeve insignia was originally approved for the 116th Infantry Brigade on the 26th of May 1978. It was redesignated for the 116th Infantry Brigade Combat Team with the description updated on the 7th of April 2006. The insignia was cancelled effective the 1st of April 2007, when the unit became a brigade of a division. Distinctive unit insignia. Description: a gold-color metal and enamel device 1¼ inches in width overall, consisting of a quartered square placed point up, the vertical quarters gray, horizontal quarters blue, and centered thereon a scarlet arrowhead point up. The lower sides of the square enclosed by 2 gold branches of laurel issuant from a lower centone terminating below the outer petals of 2 blue fleurs de lis issuant from the upper sides of the square. The laurel branch is contained in base by a curving blue scroll inscribed with the words "Rally on the Virginians" in gold letters. Symbolism: the blue and gray square at center refers to 4 years of Civil War participation, with the gray in the vertical quarters indicating Confederate service. The 2 fleurs de lis denote service in World War I and II, and the scarlet arrowhead is in honor of the unit's participation in the assault landing at Normandy. The 2 branches of laurel symbolize awards of both the Presidential Unit Citation and the French Croix de Guerre, with palm for the unit's Normandy beachhead participation. The motto is a reference to the Civil War First Battle of Manassas, where General Barnard B., on seeing General Jackson standing like a stone wall, encouraged his faltering troops to rally on the Virginians. Quote, "For that time on, Jackson was known as Stonewall, and his brigade as the Stonewall Brigade." Background: the distinctive unit insignia was originally approved for the 116th Infantry Brigade on the 24th of April 1979. It was amended to change the reference in the symbolism on the 15th of July 1980. The insignia was redesignated for the 116th Infantry Brigade Combat Team with the description updated on the 7th of April 2006. It was cancelled effective the 1st of April 2007, when the unit became a brigade of a division.